Welcome everyone. Today we're going to be talking about Apex Legends Legacy, my hands-on experience playing Apex Legends Legacy early, and I want to give you guys a rundown on everything you need to know, from the statistics on specific weapons. Is the new legend overpowered? How does the new weapon perform? How are the new maps in the arena mode? We're going to talk about all of that today. I'd just like to thank EA Game Changers for allowing me early access to play this new season, or in fact I shouldn't even say new season. They haven't included season 9 in the title. It's just going to be called Apex Legends Legacy, and that's when you know they mean business. I'm currently unable to show you guys any gameplay, but that will be up in a few days time. But in the meantime, I am now allowed to speak about everything regarding this new huge season. But let's start off with the main thing we get every single season, and that is Valk. Is Valk overpowered? Well, let's go over her key points. So she's got 3 passive abilities. The first one is that she's in the recon category, so she can scan survey beacons. The second one, which is the most obvious one, and the reason why most people are excited, is because of her VTOL jets. This is what gives her that massive boost, and you can literally fly in this game. Now, although jetpacks in this game seem overpowered, and we never thought the day would come when they add jetpacks into Apex Legends, I've played with her quite a lot, and I can say she is nowhere near overpowered. She is a very balanced legend, and I think they've done a very good job in balancing this jetpack system that she has. Her third passive is actually a scanner, which we're going to talk about a little bit later on. But with the VTOL jet, it's very simple. You activate it by double jumping, and once you're in that momentum, you can go up or down, or you can stay stationary for a limited amount of time before you run out of fuel. And you can run out of fuel really fast. You're going to have to save that fuel for crucial moments, or you could run out when you truly need it the most. Over in the settings, you can actually choose to toggle the VTOL jet or to hold. Now, I had the hold option because if you're familiar with other jetpack games, you hold down, you boost up, you let go of the hold button, it just drops you down. That's what I was most familiar with. So I recommend you guys do the same when this new season drops and change the jetpack to hold instead of toggle if you're familiar with other jetpack games. Now, you can't actually use your weapon whilst in the jetpack phase. And when you come crashing back down, it takes about 1.5 seconds to pull out your weapon. So you can't use this ability in an aggressive way. And something else I found out the hard way is that it's very loud when you use your jetpack. Can't use it to sneak up on enemies. And the best way I found to use her jetpack is to scout for enemies. So if you know enemies are nearby, you can get up and have almost a bird's eye view on the situation, ping where enemies are nearby. Now, I actually think all of the abilities that she has, and I'll go into her tactical and her ultimate a little bit later on, but all of her abilities that she has, I think the one overpowered thing is her scanner. She can scan enemies on your screen, and a little green triangle will appear, and it will also track where they're going. It's not the same as a Bloodhound scanner because Bloodhound can scan through walls, but if enemies are anywhere on your screen, Valk and Valk's teammates can also track the location of where they are in real time. Although you might be thinking, well, what is the point if I can already see the enemies on my screen? Well, sometimes you can't. Sometimes when enemies are located far away, or if we're in specific areas, you won't notice some enemies, and this ability lets you track them. And when I was using it, the fact that your teammates can also track enemies, it's a team-based ability. I thought it was a little bit broken. We're gonna have to wait and see when everyone gets hands onto her. Her tactical ability is called the Missile Swarm. This has 12 rockets in total. They all drop down roughly at the same time, and as soon as you activate this ability, they drop down very fast compared to Bangalore's ultimate or Gibby's as well. So enemies don't really have enough time to get away unless they're really fast. Now, the rockets don't deal that much damage, but the thing that is dangerous with this ability is that if you find yourself caught up in these rockets, then it's going to stun you for around 1.5 to 2 seconds, similar to an arc star, and a very good Valk player can take advantage of this situation, and the stun will leave you very vulnerable. And in some cases during the playtest, I was going down in this situation. Her ultimate ability is called the Skyward Dive, which is also a really great ability she has. It basically puts you in this position where you boost up in the air with or without your teammates, and you go into a skydive, similar to what you'd do if you come off a jump tower. The interesting thing with her ultimate is that once you activate the ultimate, it gets her in a position where she's floating, and then you either wait for your teammates to latch on, or you can go off solo. But something I figured out later on is, let's say you activate your ultimate ability, your teammates aren't actually ready to rotate yet, you can cancel that ultimate ability, and the ability will already be charged by 75%. So let's say you're in a situation where you activate your ultimate, you're ready to go into the skydive position, your teammates don't want to go anymore, you can cancel it and you won't lose all of that percentage. It will already be 75% charged, and it will be ready in about, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. Overall, I played with Valkyrie a lot, and she is a very balanced legend, a very fun legend to use. Do I think she's going to be meta? I don't think she is. On paper, she seems like the most overpowered in the game. Someone that can fly, someone that has rockets, someone that could skydive as well. But when you use Valk, you understand what I mean when I say she's nowhere near overpowered. You're very exposed when you're hovering with the jetpack. It's very loud, and I think when it comes to having fun in Apex Legends, she's going to be amazing because I had a lot of fun using the jetpack. I think this legend will fall under the fun category, but not so much in the meta category. But who knows? We're going to have to wait for this season to launch. She could play a huge part in the meta. They could have made some changes. We're going to have to wait and see. The next thing we're going to be speaking about is the Bocek Bow. Oh god, I had so much fun using this thing. So there is a new ammo type now in Apex Legends called arrows because the bow couldn't use any gun ammo type. That wouldn't make sense. So the bow is very strong. It deals a maximum damage to the body of 70 when fully charged, and it also deals a maximum damage to the head of 123 when fully charged as well. Obviously, the further you charge it, then the more damage you're going to deal. I'd say it takes about a second to fully charge back the bow to ensure you deal the maximum damage. Another important thing is that you can retrieve the arrows wherever they've landed. You can't actually find many arrows around the map as loot as compared to the other ammo types, so you want to make sure you're retrieving your arrows after you've fired them because that ensures you're going to have a consistent amount of ammo. Another thing is that the arrows do stick into enemies, and enemies just look stupid if they have like 5 arrows stuck into them. It's quite a funny thing, the fact that arrows actually stick into enemies, and I think Apex Legends done an amazing job when it comes to the mechanics of the arrows and enemies running around with an arrow stuck in their head. One important thing to note is that this arrow is a very stealthy type of weapon. It isn't loud at all compared to your typical guns. So when you are being shot by it, a simple tip is to look down at where the arrow is located and pointed, and that way you can locate where you're being shot from. You have 2 hop-up options with this arrow. There are 2 new hop-ups that are coming into the game. The first one is called DEADEYE'S Tempo. The description is firing at the perfect moment increases fire rate. This hop-up is also available for the Sentinel as well. Now, this hop-up doesn't mean rapid fire on your weapon. You have to consistently shoot at the same time for about 2 or 3 shots, and after that 3rd shot, it then goes into a rapid fire action. But the moment you lose that momentum, then it resets, essentially. So your first couple of shots are going to be normal fire rate, but once you get that momentum going, it will boost up and you'll have that rapid fire feeling. Your bow will clock back much faster. It was going like double the speed, and that's partly the reason why I think this bow is overpowered, especially with this hop-up attached. The next hop-up is called Shatter Caps, which is also available for the 30-30 repeater. This hop-up essentially turns the bow into multiple little pellets, similar to how shotgun pellets work. So you'll be shooting 6 small arrows as opposed to 1 big arrow, but of course the drawback is that each small arrow isn't going to deal nowhere near as much damage as opposed to just 1 arrow you're going to fire. I wasn't a huge fan of this hop-up. If anything, I think it makes your bow a lot worse because although you have more chance of landing shots into the enemy, and I really don't see this a viable hop-up, I would much rather not have the hop-up on at all and deal a consistent 70 damage to the body than opposed to 30, 35, maybe even 20. Overall, the bow is very strong. A lot of other content creators were also saying how strong it is and how it could potentially be overpowered. We're going to have to wait and see when more people get their hands onto it. But the main reason why it is very strong is because it's a very stealthy weapon. It's not as loud as your typical guns. Sometimes enemies don't know where they're being shot from when they're being targeted by this bow. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the arena mode, probably the biggest thing coming to Apex Legends Legacy. This one new addition to Apex has completely changed the game. We're going to get a new audience come into Apex Legends because this is a big addition for tactical shooter fans out there. When I was playing this game, all I could think of were how many new players we're going to get that enjoy other games that have this buy system mechanic, because it truly feels like a completely new game that has come out. So currently there are 3 maps available. You've got Party Crasher, which is a very colourful map. The story behind it is that the Mirage Voyage has been crashed and it's all over the place. This is by far visually the best looking map that I played on, and I would probably say it's my favourite that I played on as well. The next one we have is Artillery. You'll recognise it because it's just that portion of Artillery. I really enjoyed this map. The only thing that I didn't like too much was the fact that you have them very 2 tall buildings on either side where you spawn in. Sometimes teams just camp on that top building. The good thing though is that the ring does come in this mode, so you can't camp forever in this game mode. You do have to eventually move, which is a really great addition as well. And the last map is Phase Runner. I think this was the largest map I played on, which gives you them World's Edge vibes. It's very green and also snowy as well. I had a lot of fun on this one. I think this was the largest out of all three, but overall, all three maps has very good flow. But let's talk about the buy system. Now, the buy system uses crafting material, and it's a very simplified system. Your body shield and your helmet automatically upgrade after time. You don't have to worry about buying your body shield or your helmet. The only thing you have to worry about is buying your abilities, your weapons, and also your lethals and healables as well. When you buy your abilities, they actually carry over with you into the next round, and the devs said the reason why they wanted to do it like this is because they didn't want people to buy an ability going into the next round and not even being able to use it. So if you purchase an ability, it will carry over into the next round. However, everything else won't. You have to repurchase your weapons each round as well as your lethals as well. You also have the option to upgrade your weapons. So for example, you can upgrade the R301 into the next tier, which has a better sight, stock, barrel. The way this game mode works is if a team wins the first 3 rounds, then it's already game over. However, if both teams win 1 round each, then the winner has to win by 2 clear rounds. The longest a game can go is 9 rounds. So if it's 4-4, then you better have saved enough crafting material to buy the most cracked out loadout you can. So the last thing I want to speak to you guys about is Olympus. Now, I was happy with pretty much everything I saw other than the Olympus change. There was only one new POI added to Olympus, which was called Icarus. Located on the bottom area of Olympus, there is also a vault located there. You can access it with a key card to get the best loot in that location. There are also very small changes across the Olympus map, with some jump towers being removed to allow a better flow in rotation. But to be honest, this isn't even a complaint, because the amount of content we're getting in the new season is absolutely insane. We haven't seen it before, especially with the addition of the arena mode. So the fact that they haven't done many changes to Olympus really doesn't bother me. And when the devs were talking about it, they actually said how they're happy with how Olympus is right now. And sometimes there's no need to change things just for the sake of it. If Olympus is working fine as it is and all of the POIs are being used equally, then why change it? But overall, this was a very awesome experience I had. And they weren't joking when they said this is going to be their biggest season yet. I'm sure we're going to get a flood of new players come in just because of this new arena mode. This could be more popular than the Battle Royale mode, because we've been playing Battle Royale for the last couple of years, and the arena mode is just non-stop action. You don't have to worry about third parties, which is another exciting thing, and it's very tactical. There's just a lot of teamwork involved with this mode. Be sure to let me know your thoughts of this new season down below in the comment section. But nonetheless, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and as always, I'll catch all of you guys out in another brand new video. Take care.